Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today as we dive into video number 1 out of 2, double upload day. Things are kicking off, I gotta be honest, I'm surprised for an international break. And at the beginning of the international break, normally things are dead. But we're actually there's quite a few things going on. We're going to talk on the biggest topic of this morning, which is around Jurgen Klopp. But before we do, make sure you're hitting the subscribe button, notification bell on. And do not forget to hit the socials in the description. Make sure you're following on all of those. Much appreciated. And keep the notification bell on so you're notified when I do upload. Let's get cracking. Jurgen Klopp. What has he done? I thought he wanted to break from football. Well, it's looking like he's in the middle of one and it's not going to last very long now. So, let's get right into it. Here's the latest on Jurgen. So, exclusive. Jurgen Klopp will become the new global head of soccer at Red Bull. Hang on, can we stop? Can we stop right there? Red Bull, listen, German clubs, right? Salzburg, Austrian club, listen, all the Red Bull lot. I know there's Red Bull New York, but can we call it global head of football, please? Because we're European, we're not American, so soccer, nope. Football, yes. Anyway, to clarify, let's keep reading. Starting on January 1st, 2025, Klopp has already signed a long-term contract. Additionally, Klopp has secured an exit option, allowing him to become the head coach of the Germany national team in the future, as a potential successor to Julian Nagelsmann. From January, Klopp will advise all Red Bull teams, Leipzig, Salzburg, New York, etc., on coaching matters, playing philosophy, development and transfers of talents, head coaches and more. Oliver Mintzlaff was determined to get Klopp. So, that's coming out of Germany. Jurgen Klopp is back in work and he's got just under 2 months left to have a holiday, basically. And you know what? Look, he did say that after Liverpool, he wanted a break. I honestly believe this. He never really went into detail. It's like he didn't want to talk about it, but I genuinely think management just took its toll on him. Even just in terms of his health. I think he's looking out for that. And that's the right thing to do. Health is first before anything. Anything. Take that. If you're going to take something away from this video, make sure you take away the fact that health comes before everything. Money, your job, whatever. Health comes first. So he's taken that into consideration. Clearly, he decided to call it quits on Liverpool at the right time. He definitely served that club very well. And it just looks like he doesn't want to get into club management, you know? And is he done being a club manager? You don't get any younger. So if his reason is genuinely health related and he's now taken up this role, I think there's a chance we're not going to see him in club management ever again. I think he'll have this role. When the time comes, if he does get the Germany job, he gets the Germany job. He maybe stays there a few years. And then after that, what? He's in his 60s, approaching his 70s. That would be the end. So we might have actually just seen the end of Jurgen Klopp in club football management. Right? It's a possibility. This role, though, for what he's looking for, I think suits him really well. He's a top footballing brain. Some people say that at Liverpool, maybe he wasn't given what he was given. He wasn't in charge of transfers. Some say he was, whatever it is. But now, well, whether you like it or not, he's going to have the say when it comes to all the Red Bull teams. On a like a general manager sort of level, you know, he can make the decision, he can make the call, but he doesn't have to get into the nitty gritty details. So I think that's a role that will suit him. He's, like I've said, a very bright footballing brain. We can all have our feelings on him in terms of how he conducts himself in the Premier League. Sometimes he was just a nuisance. He would say some things or do some things. Me as a Chelsea fan, I'd look at and go, I bloody hate you now. But hate's a strong word. But on a footballing level, the guy's a genius, man. The guy's a footballing genius. So I think it's the right move. I think it will help elevate the Red Bull teams. The Red Bull teams have been a group that have been so focused on, as we've seen before, youth development, data, Trying to build organically and not necessarily just from pumping loads of money in. And Jurgen Klopp, who's been at the highest level, who's done it, is probably the right guy to go to in terms of development, structure, whilst also knowing what it takes to be at the very top and to be at the very best. So for the Red Bull teams, for Jurgen Klopp, I think this is a great move. And I'm looking forward to seeing how the Red Bull teams are going to develop. We know there's a structure in terms of like the A team, the B team, etc. We know Leipzig are the bread and butter of the Red Bull teams, right? We know Salzburg are kind of like the team that feeds to Leipzig, perhaps. There is a structure. New York is maybe the one that people go to retire in. I don't know. But there's a structure, I think, in terms of picking out talent, knowing what's going to be best, I think, for German football as a whole. Jurgen Klopp is definitely the right guy to go to. So I wish him the best in this role. And my prediction, I think the Germany job isn't going to come soon. I think Nagelsmann has that on lock. But when it does, I think we know. Jurgen Klopp will be the next Germany national team manager, which again suits him. He doesn't want a hectic schedule, something that's going to really put his health at a detriment. National team work is pretty straightforward. You play one game every, 2 months? It's, 2 games every 2 months maybe. You look forward to competitions that take place every 2 years, 4 years. It is what it is. So Jurgen Klopp suits that. So I think it's now a given. Sorry, Thomas Tuchel. It's not going to be you. But Thomas Tuchel, I think, is still looking in club management. I don't think he's done. So the Germany job, definitely Jurgen Klopp after Nagelsmann when that time comes. So let me know your thoughts down below on how you think it suits. Your thoughts, do you think it will work? Do you think it won't? Let me know. Much appreciated. Now, let's move to other club football matters in the UK, in the Premier League. Starting off at Chelsea yesterday, Chelsea women beat Real Madrid. Go on, the girls. 3-2 after going 1-0 up after 40 seconds. Anyway, here's the latest from there. So Todd Bowley was at Stamford Bridge last night to watch Chelsea's women beat Real Madrid 3-2. And there's the Chelsea women's manager, Sonia Bonpasta, of course, who so far, I have to say, has been an absolute breath of fresh air. She's been class and has really picked up where Emma Hayes left off. So I think the women's team are in very good hands. Todd Bowley being there for this sort of game, I advocate, and I think that's a very good thing. And I do want to extend that even further. Look, we obviously, the Chelsea owners and the way we've been and whatnot, you all know my thoughts, and they're not out of the woods, as John likes to say, right, Johnny? Listen, the owners have a lot to prove still. And once the objectives are reached, then we can start offering genuine praise on the direction as a whole. But seeing things like this is good. I do want to extend that and say, listen, I think it's important that they even attend academy games. Go and look at the academy lot coming through. Go and look at the kids. Try and get that academy back to a level, because the Chelsea academy has dipped. Compared to how it was before, it's dipped. And we all know why and how and what's going on there. There needs to be a little bit of effort put into the academy and helping the boys come through and making sure that the level in the academy is quite high. So I want to extend that and say it's good that he's going to watch women's games. Not just Todd Bowley, by the way. I do want to say it's not just Todd Bowley that should be going to the women's games. Igbali and Clear Lake and all that, you should be there too. Oversee the whole thing. So let me know your thoughts on that. But congrats to the Chelsea women for getting that win yesterday against Real Madrid. Fantastic win. Now, Man United, what's going on there? Before we wrap up, here's the latest. Erik ten Hag has not been told that his job is under threat. He is therefore planning to be in charge of the next game when Manchester United play Brentford. Come on. This is from Paul Hurst, who's a reporter of the Times, coming out and saying that basically there's been no decision. And this is why I said what I said last night. I expect him to maybe be in charge for the next 3 games, probably as an ultimatum. I think they're not just going to, pull it off right now. I think it's probably going to be, listen, you've got one chance to make it right, and then it's done. Because I feel like they don't want to be pulling any triggers, but at the same time, they're genuinely worried. That's the vibe that I get from Man United. So indecision is never a good decision, if I'm being honest. But I feel like they're being forced now. And I think that's why the ultimatum will come. The fact that we didn't hear anything after yesterday tells me, personally, that I think he's going to be in charge. So we'll see. However, Samuel Luckhurst of the MEN, Manchester Evening News, has decided to say this. Thomas Tuchel was Sir Jim Ratcliffe's favoured candidate had Manchester United sacked Erik ten Hag in the summer. This was true. We all remember when it was kicking off, and then out of nowhere, when they realised that nothing could happen, right, with anybody, Ten Hag was offered a contract extension. So it showed for me, it showed desperation. It showed we ain't got a choice. So make it look like everything's okay. That's the vibe that we got, and I think we weren't wrong. I don't think we were wrong with that. But it wasn't a secret that Thomas Tuchel was Jim Ratcliffe's favoured guy. But it never happened. It never happened then. Is it going to happen now? We'll see. We'll see. But I stick to, and I think he will be in charge for maybe the next 3 games or so, and then see what the results pull off from there. Like I said, hopefully up until the Chelsea game. Anyway, last story is this. Official, Atletico Madrid and Riyadh Air have reached a 9-year agreement for the naming of the iconic stadium. The stadium will now be called Riyadh Air Metropolitano. Saudi Arabia is strengthening its cooperation with Atleti as the carrier's logo has appeared on the front of the club's match shirts since last season. So, they've got themselves a very, very nice sponsorship there, the Riyadh Air Metropolitano. That actually does sound quite decent, Riyadh Air Metropolitano. That does sound like a good name overall. With Chelsea, we know we've still got a front of shirt sponsor to come. Is it going to be Qatar? Hopefully. But the last thing that I would want, I'll be honest, is Qatar Airways Stadium, the Qatar Stamford Bridge. Nah. Stamford Bridge is Stamford Bridge. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want to end up at a point like Tottenham, right? Where Tottenham was White Hart Lane, and now they built their new stadium, and all they've got is the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Do you know what I mean? It's not nice. So I don't know what Chelsea are going to do, but I got to also flip it. The money that Atletico are getting from this is pretty high. I think the entire sponsorship is ranging to around 67 to 73 million euros a year as a whole. The value of the entire contract is close to 300 million euros over the entire period. So it's a very, very interesting sponsorship for Atletico Madrid. Tons of money there. And the naming rights suits their stadium. So it's kind of worked out for them. But I further ask, what's going to happen with Chelsea? When are we going to see that front of shirt sponsor? And who's it going to be? It better be Qatar. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. And I'll see all of you later on for video number 2. We'll see what kicks off from now up until then. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button, notification bell on. Don't forget to hit the like button if you have enjoyed. Also, the socials on screen and in the description. I'm very active on both Insta and Twitter, so make sure you're following there. And all the links in the description. Thank you so much. I will see all of you later on for the second video of the day. Have a good one. Look after yourself. See you later. Take care and peace.